Okay, offline I made a bit of a story stick. This is the bottom of the rail. It's going to fit up inside the 1-inch dado I made. It holds the pitch at which the balusters are going to be placed. The balusters are 1/2 by 1/2 square bars, steel bars. So I've used the mortiser to make a 1/2 by 1/2 square hole in this. Got the base rail stained. I can slide it into position here now. It sits tight against the subfloor. You just watch me put the top rail in, all the mortises. What I'm using now is just a temporary stick I cut down to size, and I'm going to use that to check my height here for the balusters. So just like I'm putting in a baluster here, I can slide it into position, now lift it up and down. See how much clearance I have there, because these are going to be a little bit tight to slide into position. So I'm checking all the way down, and it looks like I'll have enough room here. So I just installed those balusters there. Now I'm just checking for plumbness this way, east and west. I've aligned the bottom rail the best I can to get both of these guys level. I'm satisfied with where that is. So now I'm going to screw down, holding down. Oh, see a screw. For those of you who've been watching this video series, I'm railing from the beginning. First of all, thanks for watching. But I think I mentioned I was going to make these balusters from 1x1 hollow structural steel and then cut them and paint them myself. Well, the price of steel these days, that was not feasible. So I ended up going with these pre-made versions that I just got from my local supplier, and they're 1/2 by 1/2, already painted, so I settled for them. Saved me a bit of time having to do the paint. Paint job's a little bit better, powder coated, so hopefully they'll last. Slightly changed the design a little, but the outcome's going to be the same. Now, we just have to mass produce the spacer blocks, and I'll be able to level the balusters in the other direction and glue little spacer blocks in. Carefully level the middle baluster. Take my little spacer block that I just cut up, and I'm going to temporarily press it into position. So I have my spacer block. I know what the distance is. It's 1 3/8 inches. So now I can go to the other side, check it. I'm still level. Now I move to a large spacer block, a little bit longer, which is, I think it was 3 7/8. So put the spacer block in position, push the railing over, push the baluster over. I'm still level. Go to the other side now. Push the baluster over, check the level. It's still level. So I know my spacer blocks are sized correctly in order to keep the same pitch, top and bottom, to keep these balusters level. The reason I'm starting in the center is because my error is halved. If I started over here and worked all the way to this side, my error is this much longer, whereas if I'm in the middle, my error is reduced in terms of keeping everything plumb. So I'll get the glue set up, and then we're going to pull this out, put a little glue in there, and pound it home. Remember, once this is pounded home, I am never going to be able to ever get this out again without destruction. So you have to be very careful. I've already measured the depth of this spacer, and the depth of my dado, to make sure it will actually go to the bottom and not stick up, because I'm looking for a flush install.
Got a little bit of glue here on the end of a Q-tip, and I can just put that carefully into the dado. I don't want any to come out on the top, so I'll just wipe that away. Double check I'm level. It's good. Now I can take my spacer piece. It's very tight. Oh, it just started to go down. Made a little tool here, just an old scrap of wood with a felt pad so I don't damage the finish. I can set that on top, come in with a little hammer. It's just sticking up a little bit. It's in a good spot right there, maybe a little bit too far down. It's okay. So now I just move on to the next piece.